Hi, Frank Turlip here, and I have a question for you. Do you really feel that an ADAS equipped vehicle is repaired safely and properly, even if all of the ADAS safety systems were not tested, they were not validated, and were not documented after a repair or calibration? Well, many of you will say, well, we test drive all our vehicles and we trust our people to tell us if the systems are operational or not. Another group of you will say, well, since we don't get paid for test drives, we don't do them. And then some of you will say, absolutely yes. We document every ADAS safety system verification test drive, and you know what? We get paid for every one of those as well. So in this short video, I wanted to share with you my thoughts on why post-repair, post-calibration ADAS safety system verification documentation is a key component to repair process documentation. Now, one thing you have to remember about ADAS technologies directly control braking, steering, and acceleration. And so another question I have for you is, if you aren't verifying the ADAS systems are properly controlling braking, properly controlling steering, and properly controlling acceleration, how do you know they actually will work when you give that customer or give that vehicle back to the customer? Now, here's one major calibration myth. The myth is, well, if a vehicle's not calibrated correctly, you know what? If I do a scan, there'll be a DTC. Well, that's not true, by the way. In many cases, if the vehicle is not calibrated correctly, there will not be a DTC. But here's a couple of facts you need to know. Number one, if a sensor is off 1 degree off laterally, at 75 miles an hour, it won't see a vehicle until that vehicle is less than 200 feet or 2 seconds away. If it's off vertically at 75 miles an hour, that sensor won't see the vehicle in front until it's 100 feet or less than 1 second away. Pretty scary. Now, if you remember quality control before ADAS, quality control used to be a visual process. Did the paint match? Were the gaps or no gaps? Were there no overspray? Were the welds correct? Et cetera, et cetera. Well, ADAS technology changes all that. And in our opinion, the only way to validate the ADAS systems operate as designed is to properly perform an ADAS systems verification test drive. It's the only way. And again, if you remember Ronald Reagan's famous line, you must trust your employee, but your business must depend on verification and documentation. And so when I say that is, did the person who performed the test drive actually know the proper OEM test drive procedures? Was the vehicle taken to the right speed, driven the right amount of miles over the right amount of time? Where was the vehicle driven? Did they record any audio or video? Or was the test drive documented, and did it document that the ADAS systems that were tested actually passed? Because remember, in today's reality is repairs must document all aspects of a repair as if they were going to be in court tomorrow. So let me introduce you to what we believe is the industry's best ADAS safety system verification documentation solution. Here's an example of one of the documents that are generated by the system. As you can see, there's 5 sections, and we're going to go through each of those sections, okay? Section 1 of the report is you've got what I call the basics. You got the RO number, you've got the invoice number, you got the year, make, model, and VIN number, okay? So that's the vehicle and insurance information. Number 2, the next area is what type of road test was it taken on, and oh, by the way, who performed the road test or the ADAS system verification. Area 3, how much time was spent on the test drive? What speed did the vehicle get up to and start at? And what was the mileage taken? What mileage was driven during the test drive? The next area is a link to an audio video recording. So if you choose our audio and video option, you get a link to that so you have documentation of what happened during the test drive. Next is a speed graph telling you what speeds that vehicle got up to during what period of time during that test drive. The next area is my favorite, the map. By driving the vehicle with your smartphone, record a map of where that vehicle was driven. So you know exactly where the vehicle was driven or was not driven. And you also know if that vehicle was, if there was a lunchtime drive-through at a McDonald's or whatever. But this gives you proof of the documentation where that vehicle was driven. And in one version of our report, we list all of the systems, the manufacturer's ADAS systems, as well as the verification process for each. In another version of our report, we actually have an ADAS system QC checklist where the person performing the ADAS system verification test drive must check whether the ADAS system passed or failed. And then in addition to that, we allow the business to actually generate a billing statement based on either the labor and time of the technicians performing the ADAS systems verification test, or you can set up a standard price for each ADAS systems verification. So you can bill either way so you can get it reimbursed. So all of that's done by our Test Drive Copilot platform. If you want to learn more about how we do it, visit testdrivecopilot.com. But all you need, the cool thing is, all you need to get this great documentation is a smartphone. And most everybody in the world today has one of those. And if you don't think it works, here's some comments by some of our users. And as you can see, documentation is an ongoing theme of all of their usage and their comments. So again, our company, Autotech Accelerators, we're focused on helping your business estimate, calibrate, and validate ADAS repairs and calibrations. Because we want to make sure that that ADAS-equipped vehicle operates as designed after a repair or after a calibration. And if you want to learn more, visit us at www.autotechaccelerators.com. Send us an email at sales@autotechaccelerators.com or give us a call at 855-953-7483. Thanks for your time.